Well, my friends, today was a very, very good day because after years of waiting, we finally have the announcement of the first at-home playtest for 2XKO. Plus, to top it all off, we got an extensive dev video breaking down exactly what we can expect from this online playtest and some sneak peeks at changes to the game coming along with this updated build. So, without further ado, come and join me while I take a long look at just what we'll be getting into come August 8th.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Riot Games. I snuck in here. I've been invited to chat with two very lovely people, of course, Tom and Sean, about something very special today. I'm not exactly sure what's happening. They just told me to come in here, you know, hang out, play some video games.
Wait, really? Did they have him go in blind? That would be excellent if that's the case. Oh, the fuses already look a little different.
We're here to talk about our first playtest towards the end of this year. It's going to be in August, calling it Alpha Lab. This is the next step.
I can't believe it's actually finally happening.
And so this is going to be a very early version of sort of our first draft of the whole game, not just core gameplay.
So it's not just the two characters on screen hitting each other and then the assist coming in and stuff like this, but the actual around that, playing online against other human beings.
Yeah, exactly. So it's going to be an online play test. Offline play is there, but it won't be in this test. And you'll be able to play from at home, PC or Xbox or PlayStation 5. But the whole experience of like how you get into the game, what are the things to do other than fight? We have some ideas, and we put them together in a little package. And so it's going to be.
So wait a minute. So is he teasing that there's going to be like everything, like the full game? This is not just going to be strictly matchmaking online and a strictly like online like server test. This is a sample of 2XKO. That is very interesting. I'm quite curious where they're going to go with this.
That's kind of the point. It's important that we hear your voice at an early enough stage where we can actually make changes.
Yeah, and I get the sense that this is really just the bones of it, right? Like the gameplay is there for everybody to mash on and have a good time, but the bones and the outline of all of the other systems in the game, like how you play against other humans, what the UX and UI and stuff like that looks like, all these other features.
Yeah, maybe he's just talking about like menus and training mode and
another character on the screen,
all that kind of stuff. Which if they have training mode, that would be excellent. I'm a little nervous that they won't though, if they're saying that it's going to be only online.
And the frame data on this needs to be different. You know, you're looking for everything, right? Like I went to play against my friend and it was hard to figure out how to play against them, or like, you know, these kinds of things. Like, what are you looking for and what kind of feedback is helpful for you?
Yeah, exactly. This is our first draft of like sort of the whole game loop, right? So how you get into the game, how do you like play with your friends? We're trying some things that are, you know, some things that are conventional to be familiar to you, some things that are new. And we want to get your feedback on how it's all holding together. What's your wish list? Like based on what you're seeing, like what's missing.
Okay.
Tag me in.
Yeah.
I wonder if when they're saying full game that they're literally just talking about like menus and invites and all this kind of stuff. So I mean, Tom literally just described that, so maybe I'm just repeating what he already just said. But this is something that I personally am a bit critical of when it comes to Tekken 8 and probably more so Street Fighter 6 is the social systems are weird. Like it seems like it's kind of a pain to get the hang of like inviting your friends or like just hosting lobbies and knowing how to like navigate everything. Like there's so many different menus and so many different things that you have to like jump around and just have no idea. And even I feel like there's some things where it's like named in a way where it's like, is this the social component? Is this where I do lobbies? And it's not. And in Street Fighter's defense, I think the main reason it's like that is because they have like their own CFN. Like I feel like that's how it was even in Street Fighter 5, but because it has crossplay, you have to have like a separate like Capcom ID and you have to like invite through like that system and go through the actual games systems instead of it being like a Steam invite or a PlayStation invite or Xbox or what, or I guess it's not on Xbox. Whatever. It might actually be on Xbox. I don't remember. But you know what I mean? It is something that might sound like it's a given, but testing it is a good idea in my opinion, because again, I feel like even Tekken 8 has some similar stuff where it's just kind of weird. Guilty Gear Strive's lobby system is also pretty weird, kind of a pain if I'm totally honest. So get it right.
And tell us about the kind of cool things that we're looking for.
Yeah.
To Tom's point, and kind of
let's see if Sean's going to explain everything I was just
rambling
about.
So when it comes to the type of feedback we want, we really do want to hear everything. Even like the push the glasses up, like actually that stuff's helpful. Yeah. You know, the larger.
I wonder if they're gonna have like combo trials and stuff
even though it's very early,
then.
we want to hear about it.
Yeah, I get the sense you guys
if they're showing like the little actual tutorial, I wonder if they'll have combo trials, because they have kind of teased that in some of their Twitter stuff as well. Combos.
And to your point that Tom just mentioned,
like showing notifications or notations for it.
Game, this is what I like about this, but things that are missing. If you're like, oh, I really wish this feature was in the game, right? Maybe you guys are already planning it, but maybe it's something you weren't thinking about and it might be useful, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, we're long-time fighting game players, and we just want to make a better future. And this is like the first step there, and it's the first step of many with players in this capacity where people can take it home and play with it.
All right, so this test is coming out. People are going to get a chance to play it. So when I boot up the video game, if I get in, when I boot up the video game and it's time to play, like what do I have my hands on?
First and foremost,
all right, here we go.
We're going to let people that get in be able to invite one other player.
That's awesome.
Game, which is
I did hear about this. So, that is excellent.
Get in there with a friend. You're going to see the champions that we've seen so far up through.
Especially with it being a 2v2 game, you should absolutely be able to bring somebody with you like that.
And so you'll see things like, and
a new champion confirmed, but they're not going to tell us who it is.
A little bit easier to play, but still have that ceiling. You'll see other things like we'll have a new fuse called a pulse fuse, which is the recommended way to play it. It makes it much easier and get to the fun more quickly, as well as some changes
wait, hold on.
Based on feedback. But still have that.
Is that auto combo mode?
Other things like we'll have a new fuse called a pulse fuse.
Attack rapidly for devastating. Yeah, so it's literally like an auto combo mode. Interesting. I don't hate it done this way, actually. So I'm not a big fan of auto combos, if I'm totally honest. And it's not necessarily because I have a problem with like the easy to do suboptimal combos. I just don't like it being like coupled in to me playing on classic mode. So like, for example, like Dragon Ball, you can just do auto combos, and there are reasons to do it even when you're like doing manual input combos. Like there's just like friend situations where it's just better to use auto combos. Or like Grand Blue, I feel like was really weird with like some of the simple inputs where it's just like it's simple inputs on top of the classic inputs, and there's some benefits for doing the classic inputs, but then there's sometimes where it's just better to just do the simple inputs, and I don't like that kind of amalgamation of both being kind of mashed together. So this being like a separate thing, kind of in the vein of modern controls for Street Fighter 6, I don't mind this. Like, you're sacrificing your fuse, which is already a pretty big detriment compared to like not being able to double assist, double handshake, DHC, whatever else. But then having that option to let people mash and have a good time, like, fine. I think that's a good way to do it. Like, definitively going to be worse, and I'm sure the combos are not going to be optimal. You're probably going to be sacrificing damage, and then on top of that, like I said, you're going to sacrifice your fuse. This is an interesting way to go about it.
Is the recommended way to play.
But I guess they do have auto combos one way or another.
Get to the fun more quickly, as well as some changes based on feedback we've heard around how long combos are. So we're reducing some of the outliers, and also we're upping some of the
combos were surprisingly
make matches go a little bit more quickly.
Every time I see you two, they're like,
I agree with that.
Yeah, last time you guys mentioned this, it's basically been like every time I talk to somebody on the team, it's like, you guys mentioned this last time, and in this build, this is new, so tell me what you think about it, right? It's been almost always universally, hey, some change or something that somebody mentioned last time is like in this version, so I'm sure the same kind of thing will happen, but I wanted to touch on this fuse.
When I played a Combo Breaker, there was definitely some differences from the last time I played a Evo,
Our aspiration for this game
it's been a noticeable thing that they've been changing some stuff.
Right away, both for experienced players and like whatever your skill level like with fighting games. If you're brand new, if maybe like you played a lot of fighting games but you haven't played this kind of tag fighter, or if like you're really into tag fighters, like no matter what your background, we want you to have fun right away.
And so we try a lot of things, and one of the things we land on is this pulse fuse. The way it works is you can mash light, medium, or heavy, and it will lead you into an auto combo.
Right.
And so just mashing light, this is what
so confirmed is autos.
Perfect.
And so that's great. And if you mash medium, you get this.
Yeah, Spencer meter.
Yeah, and spend some meter and it'll go
and like
super.
that combo is not that much damage. Like we've definitely seen a lot of stuff that's way more damage than that.
Of course, you need to have the meter, to go into the ult, so it kind of protects you in that way.
Yeah.
But
I feel totally fine with this already.
As well is you can flow between
like we've already seen like 60-70% combos.
You can hit this light, get into an air combo, switch to medium, and now all of a sudden it goes right into the other super. Once people start getting comfortable switching, between the different lines of auto combo within Pulse, then they can start maybe like, oh, cool, I can kind of get an idea of how this character's combos work. I can see the basic building blocks, what comes after what. Then they could try it on their own and maybe like lead into an advanced fuse.
And also all your manual options still work while you have this fuse.
I was gonna say this whole time you've been on Pulse Fuse doing all these fancy
so it
combos
is
and stuff. But like if you want to, you can also
interesting.
So if you're playing with a friend who's new, and they pick the pulse fuse and they're learning the game, then you can still.
So manual still works, but you can just mash. So that it almost does sound like it's like Dragon Ball style to some extent. Like you just do the manual, or if you just smash light, it'll do an auto combo. Yeah, I think they're wearing their inspirations on their sleeve a little bit with this, but I like it.
Do all the fancy stuff you want to do with your character.
One of the most important things for us is being able to play with your friends. You know, we were hoping that this could also be one of those avenues to better enrich the duo play experience. When someone's brand new, they're having a good time, you're doing the more advanced stuff, you're actually playing the game together still. And again, like, they can take that next step at any time.
The option there is really, really nice, especially the onboarding is so much better when you have something like this that helps people out.
True.
I actually find myself sort of dipping in and out of Pulse Fuse, like when we're testing a new champion and I'm like, okay, what does this character do, right? And then I say,
okay, yeah, that makes sense.
This is kind of what the champion's all about. And then I try to do it manually, and then I can quickly, it's just a quick way of onboarding to the character by playing and not like watching videos or.
Yeah, which that's actually true too. So like even some of the stuff that they just showed in that previous auto combo, like some of the structure was similar to what we've seen with like RE B&Bs that have been done before. So you can kind of like get an idea of like, hey, what's a basic combo? Even if I'm trying to do the manual version of it, I could do the auto combo and maybe like watch what she's doing and then mimic it, or try to see if I can extend on top of it to do something more optimal. But again, like, me historically, not a big auto combo guy, but this game, I like how they're doing it. And especially with the whole 2v2 being like at the forefront, bring a friend, introduce these people to fighting games. Like it can be me as somebody who plays a lot of fighting games, who bring somebody who is learning from scratch and mashing and like just getting an understanding of how fighting games even work to begin with. Like I think this is something that makes a lot of sense for sure.
Like anything, tell us what you think about it.
Yeah.
You know, when you're playing with it, you're trying it with different characters, when you're trying it with a friend.
Yeah, and that's something I'm really curious about is like when someone else plays it, if playing with their friend liked using it, or if their friend immediately jumped off and was like, cool, I'm gonna go do, you know, this now, and like I'm gonna learn the regular combos. I'm really curious what people think, and when I teach people the game, I will definitely recommend them to try this, right, at first. But I was gonna mention on your topic about gameplay changes, you mentioned Ari has changed quite a bit. So what's the difference between the character from before
Dr. Pepper,
to
by the
now?
way.
Because for me, I didn't end up learning her because I thought, well, this is gonna take me some time. Like she was a character that I was like, I think the floor is probably pretty high here, so when I have time at home, I'll learn the character. That was sort of the way I looked at her.
That's pretty crazy because you picked up Echo, which is like one of our more advanced characters, right?
Sure, by the way, Echo is
I learned him and I didn't have time
crazy.
for That was kind of what happened. I was like, I'll spend my time on Echo, and then whatever everybody else does with the Yasuo, I'll steal that.
Ooh, are we hurting each other for sports?
Echo seems like he's got the highest ceiling so far from what I've played.
People love how she looks, how she plays, and then when they play her, they're like, oh man, this is an ammo system I have to manage. This is a really hard hump to get over. And a lot of the feedback we got was, oh hey, when I hit this S1, it just uses all my ammo up. And then I have to like find space to get it back. And most people can't do that, nor is it that exciting, right? So you still see the 3 Foxfire charges, but there's no more like using the ammo and then having to manually recharge it. Before, when you hit S1, it would do a barrage of Foxfire blasts, and now it just shoots a single Foxfire. But if you hit it a couple times, she'll do multiple hits. So you can just like do something really acrobatic and fun and use her magic. But if you hit it a third time, she does this Rekka where you get paid, and she can continue the combo from there. And
so wait, is he saying that they removed the ammo altogether?
Fun, and so the team did a really good job of giving you an opportunity to kind of like find this fun and this cool outcome and these acrobatics, this magic right away. However, we still want to add the juice, and so you can air dash after the second hit. So go ahead and try it. And you can, put a mix on it, and it starts to get really fun when you have an assist come
Is it going to be just like 3 shots per like interaction, per like combo or something?
Counterplay. So if you do it again, and I was any good at it, we could show you the counterplay. So you can, if they're too predictable, you can hit her out of it.
You can mash out of it.
She's also got a down S1.
It's not like a combo.
Before, this used to be a bomb that would use all of your charges, but now what it does is it creates this shot that homes in on you after it delays.
Whoa!
And so it's a little bit slow, but as you'd expect, you can actually do some really cool stuff.
Yeah, she seems really different.
We'll go ahead and show you one just like quick example here, where if you call the assist and you switch to him.
I kind of like the barrage though. Hopefully her assist is still like that Vegeta A like energy barrage where she would just like bombard you with a bunch of shots.
Yeah, and I think
I thought it was good.
She's really, really cool, and obviously she's really popular.
And I actually didn't mind the ammo thing either. Maybe they could have been a little bit more forgiving with like not burning all of your ammo with one barrage or something like that. But
what's happening? So these changes,
I thought she was actually a pretty cool, like higher level character to really maximize everything with her ammo.
Access to things faster.
I won't be critical
while
quite yet
retaining
until
that
we
kind of
fully
skill
see
ceiling
what
for
she's
people
going to be
long term.
like.
I mean, you know, the last champion.
But so far, I kind of prefer the previous one, if I'm totally honest.
Stuff and her tentacles.
Because like
Alawi,
Alawi,
a really complex champ.
yeah, because Alawi, and maybe they're going to talk about Alawi stuff too, but it feels like every character has their own gimmick, like their own thing that makes them stand out, and like their own thing that you have to learn how to really maximize. And I like that about Ahri. So hopefully in changing the way that she works, they're not going to like downplay like how complicated and how complex she can be. So we'll see. But it's like, to me, you wouldn't want to change the Alawi stuff in the way that she can like combo and convert into combos off of her tentacles, and like being able to like set them up and really managing them is what makes you a good Alawi player. But we'll see. Maybe they're also about to change Alawi stuff.
So yeah, it is cool to see the design side of both of those things.
I sort of reject this notion that like if you make it good for beginners, then it's sort of, you know, is bad for experienced
I
players.
agree with that too.
Both, right?
You can have a lower floor and still have a really high ceiling.
High skill players,
for
but
sure.
we're just missing for like new skill players. And so now everything that Sean says is like, how do we like raise the bar for everyone?
We're just like wanting people to like get to the fun quickly, feel like they can have an impact right away, and then cool, get into that flow state. Let me just get one more. And it's very tricky, right? Because it's a team game. We have to think about duo play. If you kill one champion,
everything they're saying makes sense though, in terms of lowering the floor and making it easier for people to start playing.
Watching, like, hey, like, what is the game?
I mean, that's been a big trend for fighting games as a whole. It's definitely not new.
Like, oh gosh, I got in
it
there
makes
and died
sense.
in 5 seconds. With versus games in general, when they're newer, the games tend to take a little longer because people don't have fancy combos and stuff, but yeah, people were developing them pretty fast, even from just like playing on show floors. Every time I've given you guys feedback, you've come back and been like, all right, we tried it, or we looked into it and like we thought it made a lot of sense, or we did this change. And so there's always like a feeling of whatever I'm saying is not just like, yeah, all right, you say that that's good, sure, guy. It does feel like, all right, this is what, you know, we heard what you were trying here, we tried it like this. So it is a cool feeling to know that that's being heard, and I'm looking forward to seeing whatever.
Yeah, it definitely seems like they're listening to what people have to say. So I can only imagine what kind of changes they're going to make from the actual alpha test.
The general you out there, right? But that's all there is to it, right? Like, we're in it to make a game for the FGC that can be something that players enjoy for a really long time.
You've been talking a lot about feedback, you know, give everybody feedback. How do you give people feedback? How does that work? Do I just like send you a pigeon, or is there some kind of way that I communicate with Riot Games? I just write Dear Riot like it's Santa, or how does that work?
Right, so if you are in the playtest, we'll be sending out surveys, and so please fill out the survey. If you're not in the playtest, we're gonna let folks who are in the test stream, right? You know, we'll be watching social media.
Nice.
We're not just gonna look at the surveys.
Which I do intend on streaming this, by the way, for the playtest. Bare minimum, I want to record a lot, but I'm hoping to take a bunch of time off and play a ton.
For this one, you're going to need to sign up again. Sorry about that. And the instructions and how to do all that.
That is funny that they're remaking you sign up, because I'm pretty sure they've done that twice already, but whatever. It's not a big deal.
Please sign up again.
Yeah, sign up for real this time.
Yeah, sign up for real. Or if you've already signed up, sign up again.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
I'm sure everybody is down to sign up again. I'll be signing up again. So who can get involved? Like, what places on the planet can I check this out? Is it everybody? Is it certain places? How are you rolling this out?
In this first one, we're starting with a few select regions. It'll be on PC and console. We'll widen that out as we get closer to launch.
Cool.
But for now, this is our first sort of contact with like the player base at large, and so we want to like keep it a little bit contained. And this is sort of like
understandable, but hopefully everyone gets to play sooner or later.
Players get their hands on this game, they teach us something new about it, and that's like our whole approach. We're literally making this game for the FGC. If you guys don't love it, then we're doing something wrong.
So we've been chatting about this for a little while. It sounds like everybody's going to be able to sign up, get involved, which you guys have been encouraging everybody. There's an article they can check out, the YouTube description, wherever it is. Sign up, make sure you get in there. But what else is, you know, should we be looking forward to in this? Is there going to be more news, more information? Is it just like you guys are vanishing off the face of the earth until this thing is out? Like, what should I be looking forward to? Yeah,
for sure we'll have more information about like how this works and what's going to be in it in the weeks leading up to the test.
Probably Evo,
if you're going to
or
Evo,
like right around Evo.
Take a sneak peek at the build there.
Nice. Cool. So
okay.
It'll be there.
Cool.
Playable. Local play is in it.
Local play.
I want to emphasize that local play exists.
Yeah. To be clear, that will just be the local play version of it. Yeah. You know, and so all the around game stuff we talked about.
So it'll literally be the same build that they're gonna have the alpha like a few weeks later. That's cool. I'll be at Evo, by the way, so I guess I'll be playing this in mid-July, which is awesome. And then not too long after that, we'll have a long playtest.
Thanks for you two sitting down with me, inviting me in here to chit-chat about the game. Thanks everybody watching at home. We'll catch you guys next time with more info on 2XPO.
Cool. Thank you, Sajam. And then again, so just in case I was talking over him, Tom was saying that you do have to re-sign up. So this is a brand new sign up, even if you've signed up 20 times before with 50 different emails or whatever. So make sure you go sign up. There's going to be a survey. I think it even says that your like eligibility is dependent on completing a survey. So make sure after you have signed up that you actually go and take the survey after that. And I think they also said it can take about an hour for the survey to actually come to you after you've signed up. So again, make sure you actually fill that out, because I'm pretty sure they said you have to in order to actually get invited. But other than that, there is a lot I'm really curious about with what they're going to do in this build. So they're specifically saying it's not an offline thing. So, I mean, I'm taking that as you obviously can't play local versus, like you can't have couch 2v2s or anything like that, which is a little bit unfortunate. But a lot of these times they're trying to test the online functionality and specifically stress test and get feedback and all these kind of things for the online functionality. So it makes sense. I'm very curious with what they're saying where this is like the full game. So if it's just going to be testing the menus and the actual like online lobbies and things like that, or if they are going to let you at least sample training mode here and there. Like maybe they do it like Tekken 8 did, where kind of had a training mode where when you were queuing for a match, you could kind of like combo practice. And I think there was even like combo trials. So there was like roundabout ways to kind of training mode. And I'm really curious if maybe even let you have like private lobbies. So online, but maybe host with your friends and test it that way. Do like custom lobbies. Probably not, but it would be really nice to see. And then the other huge takeaway is how much that they're changing some of these characters already, because Ari looked very different. Like the fact that if they really are getting rid of her ammo system completely, that's a huge shakeup already. So I guess the moral to the story is, I mean, again, with this being like a big alpha test, they're clearly going to be asking for a lot of feedback. And if something's not working right, they're gonna change it. Like if they don't like how everything is feeling, or if we don't like how everything's feeling, it seems like they'll listen and make some pretty big changes. I'm obviously extremely excited. I kind of popped off earlier today, so I'm not gonna like fake enthusiasm. I'm super hyped, but I'm not gonna give you like the pog face, unfortunately. I already had that earlier. But it is a long play test. It's coming super soon, and obviously I cannot wait to see more of this game and get my hands on it. And the intention is to take a ton of time off of work, hopefully record, maybe stream a bunch. So keep an eye out for that if I actually am gonna finally start using that Twitch, and I can of course leave that in the description below if you are interested in Twitch at all. That's it. That's all I got. Keep an eye out for more. But until then, thank you guys so much as always for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.